And it's going to help you so much. But you need to make the decision. So I'm going to ask you again, when would you like to start? When would you like to start? Write it in the chat. Say it in the room. When?
Now.
When?
Now.
Love that. Love that. Now. I do this myself. I choose to make sure. But like I said, I shared with you, I realized that I'm not super scared about much today. So I need to play a bigger game. I need new tension. I'm in business, not so much, but in life. So I need to do something that scares me. And today, nothing in my business really scares me. So I need to do something else to get my like juice pumping. And I don't want to say what it is because then I have to do it. It's like parachuting or something that, you know, jumping off a big cliff down into water or doing something like that gets my adrenaline pumping. Work out really, really hard so that I feel that my body is being challenged. I need it because it's going to make me feel 10 times better. Remember what Wim Hof said? Some people believe I love the cold. I fucking hate it, man. That's what he said. I fucking hate it, man. And to me, it makes so much sense. He doesn't do it because he loves it. He loves what he gets through doing it. And that's the thing that I want to condition ourselves to being consistent with. And I'm going to help you to map out what is it that's going to make that journey a lot less painful. But in order to do so, we need to go through an exercise after lunch. To prepare us for this exercise, I'm going to show you this picture. And I'm going to go through our 6 deadly P's. If you've seen this before, this is not the time to take a break because repetition is the mother of all skill. We need to make sure that we are always present for what it means and what it does to us. If you see this for the first time, it's going to be a cool exercise. And you're going to recognize all of these different personality traits within you and who you are, because we all have them. The first one is the perfectionist. Perfectionist. And the perfectionist, I believe we all know who this person is waiting for everything to be in place, need to feel the right way in order for them to act. In order for me to sell my first program, I need to build the most exciting program, and that is the best program ever, in order for me to dare to start to sell it. And I can tell you right now, perfectionists the perfectionist in me almost killed me when I worked in my prior business where we helped 250,000 people in Sweden. Because I took over that business and became the CEO, we had 180 people working in our team. Do you know how many people I actually worked with? 4 of them on a regular basis. And they didn't even do the important stuff because I was a perfectionist. And who could do it perfect? None but me. So we also found a different P, and we found this P in myself right then. I'm going to go through that in a bit. But the perfectionist almost killed me. For almost 2 years, I had an average workday of 18 hours a day. I didn't do anything. And this was 6 to 7 days a week. Because it was a big business. It was about the size of the business that we have right now. And right now we're 20 people working really, really hard to create and make sure that you get everything that you deserve from us. Guest, client, team member, whomever you are. I could never do this alone. If I said that I was going to do everything perfect, I wouldn't have the business that I have right now. The next one is the procrastinator. 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 And the thing, if you're a procrastinator, someone that postpones, that pushes forward the things you know you need to do, but you do them later, I want to give you a gift. Because there is a choice to make. When you know there is something you need to do, but you decide to do it in an hour, or tomorrow, or next week, or whenever, you either pay for it or you pay for it. You pay the price of not doing it, or you pay the price of doing it. And ultimately, you are going to pay the price of also doing it. So why also pay the price of not doing it? Because it's going to be terrible, and you're going to suffer. It's going to be hard. So you pay for it or you pay for it. Don't push things into the future. Someday never comes, remember? It will happen someday. Not true. The third one is the periodic. Periodic. The person that works. This was me for a while as well, before I became the CEO. I worked really, really, really hard. And then I worked so hard so that I couldn't really breathe anymore. So I needed a week off to regenerate. And when I came back, I was a little bit less than I was before. And then I started doing the same thing again, working really, really, really hard. And then I needed a 1-week break in order to get back my breath. And then I got my breath back, but I was still a little bit less than I were before. And then down it went until I get my first full-blown panic attack. And I thought I was going to die at the place where I stood in a business meeting with 200 other individuals. I thought I was going to die, and I went to the salad table in that restaurant just to get away from the situation. And when I realized that this is not going to pass, I need to go over and tell them. Fortunate enough, one of the people I was having lunch with knew what was going on, so he helped me. But it changed my life because he scared the shit out of me because I didn't know that that could happen. Why did it happen? Because I didn't take care of myself. I was a periodic worker. I did work hard, ran away, worked hard, ran away. And the worst part about that is that we're taking out ourselves, so we are becoming less. But what's also going to happen is that all the momentum that we built up is then disappearing when I disappear. And then when I go back, I need to start the train all over again. I need to work really, really hard again with less resources available. These three, the perfectionist, the procrastinator, and the periodic, is there anyone that recognizes themselves in any of these? Yeah, 100%. Diana says no. It's because she has a lot of this. I'll show you about that later. But all jokes aside, I'll come to that. But the perfectionist, the procrastinator, and periodic all have one thing that it ultimately leads to that is a killer for you personally. And it is that all of them lowers self-trust or self-belief. Because when you can start to see that you don't get things done, that you push things forward, or that you work really hard and then you go away and then you're not consistent, then you're going to believe that that's who you are and how you behave and how you're meant to deal with things. And there isn't a bigger lie than the fact that you can't believe in yourself. The moment you realize that it's a lie that you can't believe in yourself, that's when you're going to be somewhat set free and start to do the really important things. And my invitation to you is to start believe that today, because it's going to help you hugely. Because this is just a part of the behavior that all people experience, some more than others, which means that they have lower self-belief or self-trust in themselves. It kicks us back to the questions. If nothing held you back, what would you really dream of? All of those things are available for you, but the decision is yours to make it. And I'm going to help you to deal with all of these 6 deadly P's that will hold you back. Let's move into the next one. The next one is something that was mentioned in the chat. It's the imposter syndrome. The imposter syndrome. It was mentioned in the chat, and it was mentioned by Sani as well. The imposter syndrome is when we feel that we're fake. And I usually like to explain this like all human beings are like an 88-key piano, like a regular piano. And as human beings, we have 88 keys. And every key on that piano, that is a different behavior or a different way of acting and being. And some of those keys we're really used to playing. So we're pressing the same keys all over again. It could be the key of perfectionist, because I can see when I really invest my time in it and when I really polish my phone. I had a really good conversation with the person that I called. It's a lie, but it's something that we've learned. And that's a key. The perfectionist is one of the keys. The procrastinator is one of the keys. The periodic is a third of those keys. And we have 88. And then when we have investigated all 88, then we can find that there is an 88 more, because we have sub-personalities all over and they go crisscross, and we're getting confused as soon as we start to dive into it. The thing that I want to say about the imposter is that when you start hitting a key that you've never hit before, let's say that you're a person with an identity of making money. If you're looking yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I'm a wealthy coach, I make $1 million a year. And if you said that with full conviction, what would happen? It would feel really uncomfortable. Why? Because it's the first time you're pressing that key. But if you dare to go above or beyond the threshold of that insecure or uncomfortable sense right there and then you're going to see that, hey, I'm okay even though I prioritize this. Especially in Scandinavia, it's taboo to talk about earning money, and I believe it's all over the world, but Scandinavia is a little bit special because we're all a bunch of special fuckers, aren't we? Yeah. Excuse my French. You know, but when we press that key, we're starting to get used to, how do I behave and react and act when I get used to this part? When we went to Arnold Schwarzenegger's house, we was afraid to get stuck in traffic, so we drove and were 45 minutes early to that party. So we drove by his house, and then we parked like 100 meters away and sit there. We sat there for 45 minutes, just like feeling the tension of the imposter. And we went live in, I believe it was in Top 1%, our Facebook group, and just said, this is where we're at, this is how we feel. And I also believe we had really bad reception, so I don't think it got through, but the sensation was real. Because we felt the imposter. And evolution demands that we are uncomfortable while we are growing. Evolution demands it. Because if we're used to everything new that came to us, then everyone would be successful, everyone would have everything, and everyone would get everything as soon as they said it. The imposter is a real thing. It's a real syndrome. And it's completely manageable. The fifth one is the pleaser. The pleaser. And the pleaser needs to be good. The pleaser needs others' validation and verification that they are good. And the more you grow, the more people will have opinions about you, so the pleaser is a big problem. And the more pleaser there is in you, the less you can be with yourself, the less you can feel and stay connected to who you want to be. Because the question is, who are you? That's not like, you know, who are you? You're any of the 88 keys that you could strike at any point in time. You need to decide, and you will always be able to decide. And pleasing is not done for the right purposes. You can be kind, you can be humble, gentle, and you can serve people. But when you do it on the cost of yourself, you're gonna suffer. What these two have in common is that they are both identity, I think, crises. It's identity crises. It alters your identity. It fucks with your identity, the way you view yourself. The last one that we have is not red to purple. Pride and ego. We all have a pride and ego, but it depends and alters a lot on how important it is for others to see how good we are, how significant we are. And if you are here and you know most of the stuff that we're saying, you're not really listening because you're not questioning the things that you believe. There is a reason why we have the results in our business that we have. And if you believe that you understand everything that we are saying, then I would like you to investigate that limiting belief, because it holds you back from making more money faster.